Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am Tiffany with Voices for Independence, Fitness and Activities. I am here bringing you another recipe in our cooking demo segments this week, and going on for the next couple weeks, we are going to be cooking our way across America. I'm bringing you dishes and ideas from each of the 50 states. This morning, what we're doing, we are moving on to Ohio, and one of the foods that they are famous for is a delicious sweet called the Buckeye. Now, the Buckeye, depending on who you talk to, it can be considered a cookie or a candy. It's got its name and became popular and known to be from Ohio because it says that the cookie or candy resembles the seed-like nut that comes from the state tree called the Buckeye tree. It's a round, smooth seed that falls off the tree in the fall, and it's said to bring good luck. It dates all the way back to the early 1800s when the Native Americans occupied most of the land, and they would carry them in their pockets for good luck. So again, it carried on as tradition in Ohio and even is named after the Big Ten College Ohio Buckeyes. So that's what we're making today, and these are super easy, and it is one of those recipes that you can put in your box if you're a beginner baker or cook. So we're going to begin with, what you need for this recipe is you will need 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. You'll need 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. And here's a quick tip, folks, because I just did it this morning. I might have mentioned this in one of my previous lives. But if you do not have powdered sugar at home, it's super easy to make. All you need to do is add 1 cup of your powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon, so an equal ratio of regular sugar, granulated sugar, to cornstarch. So 1 cup of granulated sugar, pardon me, I misspoke, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. When you add those equal part ratios to a high-powered blender and blend them together for about 3 to 5 minutes, you create your own powdered sugar. It works really well, and I actually believe I did it in a recipe last week, and I have forgotten today that I was out of powdered sugar, so I created some more. So again, it's 1 cup of powdered sugar with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch added in a high-powered blender to make your own powdered sugar. So fun tip, and the reason you add the cornstarch to it is to help keep the sugar dry. As it's blending at a high speed, it tends to get hot and start to break down, so moisture starts to develop in your blender, so that is why the cornstarch is needed to make your own powdered sugar. But just, sorry, fun baker side note there if you ever need that tip. We're also going to need just 1/2 cup of flour and a teaspoon of vanilla to complete this recipe, and 4 tablespoons of butter. All right, so that's all we need. So we're going to put everything in one bowl. Another reason why I love this recipe. There's no oven involved. There's one bowl. It has peanut butter and chocolate. What could be better? So we are going to add our 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Now again, this is a cookie or a candy. It's a no-bake item, and what we're going to do is blend all this together, and we're going to roll these into balls, and then we're going to be refrigerating it for about an hour. Once that is done, we are going to be hand dipping these in some melted chocolate that we'll prepare. If you notice in the title of today's live, I did put Buckeyes Part 1 because at 11, when I come back on, I'll be showing you how to hand dip these in chocolate, and that will also help you in future chocolate dipping excursions that you may have. All right, so we're also going to add our 1 cup of peanut butter to this as well. I have half store-bought peanut butter and I have half homemade peanut butter. I need to get to the store to start replenishing my supply, so I'm using my last things up. Whatever nut butter you have in the house, though, will work for this recipe. So if you are on a nut-free diet, you can also use your sun butter. All right, so we add that to our bowl as well. We're going to add our 1/2 cup of flour and then our 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It seems like that's a go-to measurement all the time for all baked goods, is that 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And as I always tell you, The cap of your vanilla, and in most cases, in most brands, is 1 teaspoon in measurement. So you can just use the cap, fill it up, and pour it in. Now we're going to be blending this all together. I would recommend using a hand mixer because we do have some heavier, stiffer ingredients in here. So it might be a little challenging to do it without a power appliance, but you can definitely attempt it, but this will make it much smoother as well. So as always, I like to kind of get it started by hand to make sure that the dry ingredients gets a little bit moistened by some of the wet ingredients in there so it doesn't fly all over the kitchen and cook space. All right, so now I'm going to start to blend it. You want to blend it till it's smooth and all the ingredients are incorporated. So again, I'm turning on the appliance, so if loud noises bother you, please turn down the sound at this time. Blending, it's going to start to look like crumbs a little bit, but as you keep blending, it'll start to pull back together. That's just the dry ingredients starting to incorporate with the wet ingredients, and as it continues on, it will pull together. But it is going to be a little bit dry looking. Plug came out, folks. Let me fix it. Always make sure everything's in working order before you start. All right, it's coming together now. And always remember, you want to scrape the sides down, either using the mixer itself or using a spatula, and we're just gonna blend it a little more, and then we're gonna start rolling them out by hand. It's going to be more like a dough. All right, so it looks like the majority of my dry ingredients, I don't see any of it left. You can usually tell by if you can see the white powder from the sugar or flour. I don't. Now remember, I said that it's gonna look more like crumbs, but it is sticky like a dough, so it will come together when we roll them here. So you're going to need to get your cookie sheet out and line it with parchment paper. And then I like to go through my Buckeye dough and kind of press it together with my spatula a little bit to start bringing it together. If you keep your hand mixer going, it will start to do this on its own. I just wanted to give you the gist of it and make sure it's all incorporated. All right, so what you're gonna do next is, I like to use my cookie scoop, and we're gonna fill it up, but we definitely wanna press it in because we want that dough to hold together for this cookie. I consider Buckeyes in the cookie family. I feel there's more of a dough we create than a candy. So once you have it there, we are going to place them on our cookie sheet. Again, if you do not have a cookie scoop, you can hand roll these by using a measuring spoon to measure it out and then roll it in your hands. This is the less messy way, and it's also, in my opinion, the easier way, especially if you have issues with dexterity or you only have the use of one hand. This will be a lot handier, no pun intended. All right, so I'm just going to put a few of these out to show you, and then what we're going to do is get these in the refrigerator. We want these to chill a little bit, and that will help them harden. And what also it will do is it will make them colder than room temperature, so when we go to dip them in chocolate, the chocolate will stay on the cookie and it will also dry faster. So there you go. Just fill up your tray with your Buckeyes and get them in the refrigerator and let them chill for an hour or maybe even 2, because I will be back at 11 to show you how to hand dip your traditional Buckeyes from Ohio, where eating and cooking across America. I'll see you guys back here at 11 for part 2, and I hope you enjoy your morning. Take care.